You got Leon D here, and we're going to talk about food. I'm not an expert on anything to do with food, but I've been around a long time, and I am a professional barbecuologist. I know food. I know what I like. I know what I don't like. I know a lot of things that you may not like. That's the intro for Leon D. Let's get it on. Yeah, this is your boy Leon D. I'm back here to talk about some more food. Let's talk about another city that when I go there, I like to eat because they seem to always have nice food, and I think they have nice food because it's the kind of food that I like, slow and smoked. But they're known for more than just that. Now let me tell you about an incident I had before I get into the city of St. Louis. I went there with a business colleague. Probably about 10 of us went, and we went to go and meet with a commercial friend of ours. Well, anyway, we got there, and the host said, "Hey, we got some good food in St. Louis. What did you guys think about for dinner tonight?" Now, anybody who knows St. Louis had to be on the same page I was on. But it was kind of funny that nobody picked the food that I would have picked. They said, "Hey, let's get some Italian food." I said, "Hey, I can get that all day long in Philadelphia, New York, Baltimore. So Italian food, Chicago, wherever." So I'm thinking, what the hell's wrong with them? St. Louis is famous for one type of food only, barbecue. And these people, I guess because they were from this new age, they were not really younger, but they ate a lot of upscale food because they were saying things like, "What about this steakhouse?" I said, "What the hell? They got barbecue everywhere, and look at the people here. There are no Italians here." People say, "What about Thais? Thai food." I said, "Okay, that's all right, but you guys go where you want to go, and I'm going to get me some real authentic barbecue." So I went to this place to get some barbecue, and it was kind of cool because it kind of reminded me of myself. They cook barbecue in the morning, and when it's gone, it's gone. You get there at 6, 7, 8 o'clock at night. You may not have any ribs left or any pulled pork left. You may not have anything left that you like. So those kind of places that I know got good food. Those kind of places that I know that you're gonna get something you want because if you want it, somebody else in that area wants it, and it's all gone because it is just that good. So people there was like, Lombardo's is good. They was like, "Hey, let's go to get some kimchi, Korean food." So I told him, I said, "Hey, listen, I ain't seen nobody around here that looks like they come from Korea or Thailand or wherever. I ain't seen nobody around here." But at the same time, it didn't matter to me because I was going to get some barbecue. I said, "Ain't no way I'm going to come all the way to St. Louis and not get barbecue." And one place I liked a lot was called Smoking Bones. Sugar Fire Smokehouse is good. St. Louis Q was all right. But I like Pappy Smokehouse. I really like Pappy's a lot. Pappy, I like the ribs. Because see, you can put any food on a grill. You can put any food on a smoker. It don't mean you're barbecuing. When the temperature is below 275, you're barbecuing. Anything else, you're just grilling. You're just grilling anything else. But people from other areas, when you go visit places like St. Louis, go get what they're famous for. And that's the problem I had in Florida. In Florida, it's a peninsula with all these damn water on three sides of it. That's what a peninsula is, water on three sides. If water's on four sides, it's an island. But Florida, nobody was talking about let's get seafood. But in St. Louis, people say, "Hey, we're famous for a lot of different things. We're famous for a lot of different things. But we're most famous for barbecue." And that's the part that I didn't understand. People wanted sushi, they wanted all this other stuff. They wanted all this Thai food and everything else. And they be like, oh, let's go to the Thai bowl. First of all, Thais are not native to St. Louis. Thais are native to Thailand. So that's the part I really didn't understand at all. And so the good thing about St. Louis, they have native foods. They have foods that you won't get. You can get them outside of St. Louis, but it ain't the same. That's when you know it's homegrown. You know it's homegrown, and you can go to all kind of places. And I've had the best barbecue in the world around the whole country, and I've had some of the worst. But if the name Shack is in it or Smokehouse, you got my attention. And in St. Louis, a lot of places got the word smoke in the name of the restaurant. And what impressed me the most is that when a guy says when it's gone, it's gone, it's good because he has a smoker out back that you can verify. You pull up, you see smoke coming out of the back of the back of the building. So he got the real deal. You know that. And you know that everybody tells you, hey, you go there past 3:00. They open at 9 in the morning. You go there past 3, you're not going to get anything you want. You're going to get the scraps or the side dishes only. They may have some thrown in chicken, They may have something like that. But, another place that I liked a lot in St. Louis too is called the Barbecue Man. The Barbecue Man opens and he closes at 5:00. He don't even pretend. He closes at 5:00 and it is what it is. He doesn't mess around. And the good thing about St. Louis that I did like a lot about St. Louis, the barbecue. The one thing I was impressed about was that they had good size. All the sides were good. And see, to me, that completes the meal. The size completes the meal. So when people go there and, you get the best of ribs, you get the best of chicken, they got hush puppies, they got devil eggs, they got burn-ins, they have all this stuff in St. Louis. So they even had smoked salmon, which I'm not a fish person, but I do like smoked salmon, But here's the thing though, you gotta remember too when you go to these places, whether St. Louis, Memphis, Texas, Georgia, the Carolinas, wherever you go to get your barbecue. If you don't see smokers, that means that food was probably under a heat lamp for a long period of time. Now, they may bring it back in and warm it up for you real quick, but their food was cooked a long time ago and it's gonna dry out in the middle. Heat lamp dries food out. Yes, it do. But here's the thing that I saw at the Salt and Smoke in St. Louis. And the reason some places do it, like Pappy's do it, I'm gonna tell you the reason they do. You got sweetie pie and all this other stuff. One reason that they say when it's gone, because they start cooking it, as people ordered it, and people orders it, they're cutting the meat or giving you the slab, and it's really literally coming off the grill to you. There's no in between. There's no in between. And that's very, very important. From the grill to your plate, they put the sides on, boom, it's gone. The meat is right off the grill. You can smell all the smoke, and you can see the steam from, you can see the steam from the smokers. You can tell it's fresh. Plus, here's the one thing about St. Louis too. They don't put your sauce on your ribs. They bring it to the side and say, here you go. When they tell you it only comes with sauce on it, that was made in some chain factory like a Dave and Buster's or Famous Dave. That was made long time ago. They don't have a pitmaster on duty. St. Louis, every place I went, maybe not one, but I think all of them, they had a pitmaster on duty. If the pitmaster is on duty, he is cooking the food right there. When they tell you we close at 10 o'clock, let me tell you the downside of that. when you're a pit master like myself, you don't know when your last order is going to come in. So that food for the person comes in at 9:45, that food's already been cooked, sitting under a heat lamp, or put in a hot box somewhere. It's already been done. At Salt and Smoke, that pit master name is Haley Riley. What she did, you can see her flipping food while you in there. I walked around back to get a little peek. You see them flipping food. And she said, this is it. When it's gone, it's gone. And I'm like, cool. So basically, she had smoked all the food earlier, put it to the side, still got it warm on the pit, cooking the new stuff, the fresh stuff on that pit. And you see her just taking them off the side where she was keeping them warm at, not under a heat lamp. She just had an indirect where, you got 225 or 250 on your left, and on your right, where there's no fire at, that might be 160, 170 degrees. It's just enough because she knew her audience. She knew on Tuesday and Thursday and Wednesday what night was heavy and what time they were heavy. And they were just taking it and just giving you slabs of ribs and moving the fresh cooked ones to the side. And so I was like, and then I had that with hush puppies and maple butter. Woo. One other thing they had too, they had deviled eggs with bacon. I like deviled eggs, but I don't like people hand touching my eggs. And they actually all had on gloves, which is important to me. So when you go to St. Louis, you can get some Italian food, you can get some Thai food, nothing wrong with all that. It ain't for me. It's not what I want. If I go to St. Louis, it's kind of like going to Louisiana and not getting some gumbo or jambalaya, and what's the point of going there or even going out to eat if you're not going to try the things they're famous for? So I tell everybody, you go to a certain city, go what they're famous for. You go to St. Louis, and see, some people, I know there are a few people who don't like barbecue. We call them vegans and misled. Vegans don't eat meat. They claim they don't. They like meat like products. They like meat like taste. They like meat like looks, but they don't eat meat. That's kind of saying, I'm not a cowboy, but I got on the hats, the spurs, the boots, the belt, and the vest. But I'm not a cowboy. Why look the role that you're never going to be or you don't want to be, but you look the role? Don't wear a mini skirt if you don't want to get noticed. That's just how life works. So, all these vegans, and then the other group I said that don't like barbecue are the ones who are misled. A lot of people are misled to believe that they don't like something that they know they like. And they can be misled from birth. If your dad don't eat pork and he didn't serve pork in his house, I respect that. Stupid as hell, but I respect that. Because see, if you go in there and you don't like pork and you don't want to eat ribs and pulled pork and all that, then don't go to a barbecue place. And I know some people say, oh, because of my religion. Well, guess what? They like pork-like products. Oh, I like beef bacon. Just say you like bacon. So the people who are misled, and sometimes there are entire generations who don't eat pork. Sometimes there's entire religions who don't eat pork, like the Middle East. Well, I tell you what, I can go visit, but I can't live because I'm going to have some pork. Now, the one meat that everybody eats that always baffles me. And see, not everybody eats beef. I went to India. They treat a cow like the cow is the most important thing in their life. And it could be for religious reasons. But ain't no cow gonna be sitting in my living room looking at TV, looking at Chick-fil-A commercials, and then talking about, eat more chicken. No. If you got a hoof, I got a mouth. It don't matter if you can walk, run, fly. You got a hoof, I got a mouth. And so when don't go to a barbecue restaurant if you're not gonna eat all the foods there. Now, I eat all the foods and things barbecue. If it's slow and low, you know, I know for a fact that I'm gonna like it. It don't matter. You know, I'm not, like I said, I'm not a big seafood fan, but I've eaten seafood in the past because it was low and slow. You would probably never catch me ordering salmon in a regular restaurant. But if I put it on a smoking board on my smoker, I'm gonna tear that salmon apart because it has the taste and the smell I wanted to have. I wanted it to have. So saying that, when you go to these other cities, some cities, you know, like Phoenix, hey, there's nothing to eat. Phoenix is a city of a bunch of transplants. And then the Native Americans, they don't have restaurants in these cities. So I don't know what it is that they could offer me or they would have that I would find of interest. I've never experienced that, never did that. So everybody else is from somewhere else. So they're bringing their local dishes with them, or not local, foreign dishes from New York, Detroit, Chicago, LA, Miami, wherever. They're bringing all this stuff to Phoenix. So Phoenix don't have a Phoenix dish. And New Mexico, I'm tired of hearing about chilies. But you go to St. Louis, there's a lot of things that's native to St. Louis. It's kind of like Memphis. It's kind of like the Carolinas. There are things that they eat that nobody else eats. Or they eat it, it's just not as prevalent as it is in those, I guess, indigenous societies where it was the main meal. Like barbecue, it's a Southern thing, and actually it's a slave thing. They cook their food on open fire, and actually the Spanish started all this mess. You bring a pig over here. What did you think we was gonna do to it? We wasn't gonna treat it like Santa Claus. No. You bring a pig over here, we slice and dice every part of them. It's kind of like how the Native Americans did the turkeys. You can gobble, but you can swallow, because you're going to be gone by the end of the day. So when you go to places that you're not familiar with, this day and age of Google and YouTube, go and order the stuff that's local to that particular area. That you're not going to see 5,000 Thai restaurants in St. Louis. You'll see 20 or 30, and they can have a big Thai population. But they got a bigger barbecue population than they do Thai or Chinese or Japanese or whatever have you. St. Louis, yeah, they got Italians. They probably got 10, 20,000. I don't know. I'm just guessing. Philadelphia got 500,000 of them. The Rizzos ran the city for 500 years. Or at least it seemed that way. New York got Italians everywhere. New York got Jews everywhere. Philly got Jews everywhere. So I wanted something that St. Louis is famous for. They're famous for the barbecue. They got some of the best barbecue in the world. Matter of fact, if I had to rank St. Louis right now, the best barbecue in America, and I've been to about 500 different cities on my barbecue trek, St. Louis is definitely in the top 4. They're definitely in the top 4. I'm going to do an episode where I'm going to rank the best barbecue I've had and what cities and suburbs have had that. Some of you going to be happy as hell. Some of you going to be highly disappointed. And when I say barbecue ribs, I'm only talking about St. Louis style. There's a reason why they call them St. Louis style. Because St. Louis did not invent the rib. Don't get me wrong at all. They just mastered that particular cut. They mastered that particular cut. They said, give me the flat ribs and take your baby back to the rest of the country. And they mastered the flat ribs. That's why everybody calls them St. Louis ribs. There's a reason why it's named after that city. People say, oh, spare ribs. I tell you what, you go to St. Louis and eat ribs, ain't no spare, nothing left on your plate. It's just not there. So that's where we are, and that's what we got to talk about. Our newest city, the best place to eat in St. Louis, I told you, but you got to go to St. Louis if you want a good meal. That is just what it is. You got to go get a good meal. Go to St. Louis. You can't go wrong. Leave all the other stuff alone. Don't hear about the Asian food. Don't hear about the food trucks, because there really ain't a bunch of them in St. Louis. They just got good restaurants for me, and probably for you too, Where you want to go, they got food. But they're clustered. A lot of them are clustered in the, I guess, downtown area. They're clustered. But I know I didn't spend enough time there because they had a lot of shack-looking places, and anything with the name shack in it, got good food. Because those shacks been around 30, 40 years. The food is still good. The person who started it may be gone, but the customers are not. They're passing on that food, tips to their little ones before they get teeth. Before you get teeth in St. Louis, you're eating a rib. If you got to gnaw and just suck on that piece of meat or bone for an hour, that keeps the baby busy. So, this is your boy DJ Leon D. We'll catch you in the next episode. Peace. St. Louis, the place to go to eat.